What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review. As I give you results of AEW Dark from April 6, 2021, and AEW Dynamite from April 7th, 2021. So obviously, the first one I'm gonna start with is with AEW Dark results from April 6, 2021, which pertains to them being in Jacksonville, Florida, at Deli's Place, with your commentators, Excalibur and Taz. And let's get right into it. And yeah, there's no Anti-Ongogo on this commentary because we all know what happened with Anti-Ongogo. Anti-Ongogo is part of this whole faction that's been led by QT Marshall, alongside also with Nick Comparado and Aaron Solo. So, there you go. So, that being said, folks, let's just get right into the show here, folks. This will be a quick results just to get to skim through it, because AEW Dark shouldn't be something people should be watching weekly because it's not really that important. What's really important is was every Monday night on YouTube, which is AEW Dark Elevation. That show has been focused a lot more than the regular Dark show on the Tuesdays. I kept saying before, there should not be any dark shows on Tuesdays anymore because you got Dark Elevation, so that's basically enough there. Giving us too much content, it's gonna burn out your fans, and fortunately that's became unfortunately I meant to say, unfortunately, I became one of those people that ended up getting burned out because of that. So. But they really need to reconsider this whole thing of just having one dark show, and that is Dark Elevation. So, with that being said, let's get to what happened on the show here. Dark Order, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and Alex Reynolds defeating Jake St. Patrick, Sage, Scott, and Chandler Hopkins in a 6-man tag team match, and I thought it was decent. Team Taz still having some tensions with one another, which changed to Ricky Starks and Brian Cage, but it was Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs being accompanied by Hook. They defeated Brick Ridge, Justin Law, and Hayden Backlund. I wonder if Hayden Backlund is any relations to Bob Backlund. I don't know if he is or not, but whatever. But 6-man tag team match. Ricky Starks gave Brian Cage the win here because Ricky Starks could have easily won the win match after he hit his Rochambeau, but instead he decided to have Brian Cage to get the win instead. With Brian Cage adding more insult to injury with doing the drill claw. So we have a Team Taz won. Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus defeated Rex lost. Sorry, folks. I meant to say Rex Lawless and Dean Alexander. Basically, this is all to promote Jurassic Express going up against Bear Country, pertains to that show for Dynamite. And I guess I thought it was gonna be on that week before when I talked about before when I did my last review of it. Not knowing it was actually this it was during this time it happened, where they was doing this whole promotion of Godzilla versus King Kong, and the way they did it is by having Jurassic Express versus Bear Country. So, but we'll get to when we get to the Dynamite portion of it. Ryan Nemeth defeats Flaco Del Sol. The Butcher defeated John Cruz. John Cruz. The Sea Stars, which is Axie Fox and Delmi XO defeating Vervixen and Jasmine Allure. Kellen King and Red Velvet being accompanied by Big Swole during the match defeated Mandy Rankowski and Vibrus. Excuse me. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry if I'm not doing my best here. J.D. Drake defeated Baron Black. Pertains to him, being getting that momentum against Darby Allin for the TNT Championship title, which I was on the Dynamite portion of it. Joey Janela and Snake Kiss defeated Casey Navarro and Aaron Fry. Matt Sydal defeated Mike Magnum. Magnum, excuse me. Matt Hardy defeated Very Morales, and Bear Country, Bear Boulder and Bear Bronson defeated Hybrid 2, Jake, Jack Evans, excuse me, and again, folks, I apologize for not being my best here, but I'm gonna try. One chance to my timer portion of it. That was your edition of AEW Dark from April 6, 2021. 12 matches were the Tomar Wrestling, and my overall score for the show, I'm gonna go with a 6.5 out of 10. A decent show, so not much to say about it. And now, folks, let's move on to. Hopefully, I'll get better at this. Because I feel like this portion of it, I was not doing my absolute best, but hopefully, I'll do my absolute best when it comes to the next portion of it for AEW Dynamite. So when it comes to AEW Dynamite from April 7th, 2021 in Jacksonville, Florida, with your commentators Good Old Gerald Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. The opening, well, first of all, the Inner Circle arrived with a bunch of trucks, SUVs, and sports cars, because this is their return, even though they came back when they attacked and got their revenge on the Pinnacle. But it's the damage that's been done by AEW, and it can't be undone. But the opening match was the Hangman and Page versus Max Caster, with Anthony Bowens at ringside. There was a rap that Max Caster did for the Hangman and Page, pertains to him being a cowboy and doing cowboy shit and all that, and riding horses and all that. And something about that happened on Dark as well, which it was hilarious. If there needs to be a soundtrack, pertains to what AEW does, for anyone that's in the roster that's doing songs or even a freestyle, Max Caster should be the first. And yeah, I feel like Max Caster should have his album presented by All Elite Wrestling, especially where everything that he freestyling on to everyone pertains to these music videos that he's been doing on Dark. I don't recall they were showing it on Dynamite, but on Dark though they showed it a lot. So they need to do something with that with Max Caster. Platinum Max Caster. Match itself, I thought it was decent. Unfortunately, it was one botch that was made by Max Caster when he's trying to get hop on the top turnbuckle with the Hangman and Page, but he kind of slipped, but he still end up still on end up being on the top. But man, it was unfortunate that spot had to be a little botchy, and but it is what it is. Anthony Bowens got involved in the match too, by the way. But in the end, it didn't help at all because the Hangman and the Page hit him with the bus truck lariat and got the win. And I think the Dark Order came out for the help too, by the way, because Anthony Bowens getting it for me. I could be wrong, but I don't remember. I don't recall Dark Order being out there for him for that. Yeah, nothing about the Dark Order there. But yeah, either way, Adam Page got the win though. After the match, he went to get some beers in the coolers, and he gave it to a fan as he was leaving. Basically, he got up to the rafters in a way. So, yeah, that's gonna be Hangman and Page's thing. Since him being the Stone Cold of AEW, minus not being bald, and yeah, whatever. Tony Schiavone, he calls out the Death Triangle to the ring as he announces. Yeah, that's nothing. Pac is back, by the way. He had an injury. He had an ankle injury back at Revolution from that Casino Battle Royale, where Pac and Phoenix are supposed to begin a tag team title shot against the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles, which ends up happening, which we'll get to when we get to that review of it. But yeah, we got Death Triangle coming out. Penta, El Zero Miedo, Ray Phoenix, and Pac coming out, and basically that's all on behalf of what it pertains to getting a tag team title shot on the next AEW Dynamite show. And then all of a sudden, Best Friends comes out. not just best friends, but also the Galaxy greatest alien, Chris Stanlander. And basically, they came out and Orange Cassidy starts talking. He says that it's nice to see the Death Triangle in the ring again, and they show video footage of what happened last year at Revolution 2020 when, before the pandemic happened. Death Triangle and best friends were in a feud, where it's going to lead to a match eventually on Dynamite. But due to the pandemic, Pac unfortunately had to go overseas, back at home, because of this pandemic, because he's got family over there. And meanwhile, Ray Phoenix and Penta El Zero had to stick around in the U.S. with with AEW, and yeah. So because of the whole pandemic that started last year, Death Triangle and the Best Friends never got their feud started. It started getting off. It just started getting off the ground, but it never got to the match that we expected to see. And finally, we're getting back to that. To where we were before from last year. So in the meantime, Pac, let's let them know. Let me say this. Chuck Taylor starts talking now. He says, it may have been a while, but we haven't forgotten. And your finger starts laughing at them, and then Penta Jimbo goes to say something crazy to them, but then Pac stops, Penta for saying something crazy, and then Pac says the best friends are writing on the wall. Or, best friends see the writing on the wall and want to get in front of the line. Well, that's not the case at all, because they're going to be in the back of the line, because right now they need they got a lot of work to do before they get started. To be worthy of getting a shot at the titles. And then Trent said, he's just letting them know, that they're back now, and the boys, basically the whole thing of the boys are back in town, and they have an alien, which is Christiana, along with them. So, and there you go. That was it. Basically they let us know that feud is going to continue. Since it didn't finish what they started last year, which again was unfortunate. So, but there you go. And that also tells you right there that Pac and Ray Phoenix were going to win, but we'll get to that review, especially what happened later on with the Young Bucks. This show was advertised of the return of the baddest man on the planet, Iron Mike Tyson, who showed up at Jacksonville, and yeah, and we'll get to him later. And the whole thing with that whole thing is, I think I mentioned before, pertains to no more surprises. That TNT doesn't want AEW to do no more surprises. Pertains to their shows weekly. Iron Mike Tyson, I believe he was supposed to be a surprise appearance on the show there, but because TNT doesn't want any more surprises, AEW decided to just advertise Mike Tyson to be there on the show. What was he going to do there? Well, we'll get to that later on, because I was wondering why he was going to be there, and it is something I thought I didn't think I would see, but we'll get to that. So then we get to the Inner Circle coming out. Chris Jericho says that they are back in black. About when they came out from the babyface's entrance tunnel instead of the heels entrance tunnel. So Jericho basically makes fun of the Pinnacle by calling them the Pineapple. Says that the beatdown that they received gave them a lot of thinking. Jericho says that they made a lot of bad decisions and hurt people, and they apologize for that, including the fans. Jericho said a lot of that is a result of MJF. Not actually a lot of that. But it's I guess when it's what I guess maybe it pertains to the Young Bucks, whatever, in a way. But we're talking about but we're talking before MJF joined the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle has done a lot of bad things to a lot of people that they hurt and all that. So, so Jericho says he isn't smart. He isn't smart at all of things, but he is smart at pro wrestling, which is why he brought MJF into the group. Didn't think that he would take him under his wing, but didn't even also but he did it too, put him under the thumb, and he knows how talented he is. that he knew that MJF will eventually show his true colors, but didn't know that MJF will be outsmarting them based on how he did it. Jericho says that MJF is not as good as he think he is and basically saying that he brought into the hype and calls him a mark. Jericho starts saying that they're going to change that to be a max. Since it's not it basically he's basically saying that MJF is a mark for himself. Instead of being a mark, he's being a max for himself. That's basically what he was saying. And then he calls out Tully Blanchard, retains him being a third-rate member of the Four Horsemen. Talks about FTR pertains to tell the difference if they want to be called Axe Smash or whatever he was saying. And then talk about Shawn Spears never seen it. Pertains to what he can bring to the table. Talks about how can't remember something about Warlow about I don't remember what it was. I think it was something about noon in the dark, something like that. I didn't get what he was trying to say with Warlow there. But Jericho says that the Inner Circle will once again dominate, and they will shove the Pine. Now Jericho's got me saying this now. But the Pinnacle up, heads up of each other's asses, and Jericho says that they have been waiting for a match since last year, and you know what that means. And I think I might talk about this before too, by the way, folks. Where it tends to when they first see the the Pinnacle when they did what they did to Inner Circle, the whole thing MJF this whole thing with I was too busy building my own faction and all that, where it's going to lead to a blood and guts match, which that's what it was. Jericho says that it's going to be on May 5th, the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle in a blood and guts match, which originally it was supposed to be for the Inner Circle versus the Elite, but the Elite is kind of no more, represents to the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and the Hangman Adam Page. Now we're seeing the Young Bucks off from last year. Remember the whole story where Nick Jackson was taken out because of his wife was pregnant and gave birth, whatever, something like that. I can't remember I think it was Nick Jackson's wife who gave birth, whatever, and Nick Jackson had to be there, so they had to write him out and basically have someone to replace Nick Jackson, which it was going to be Broken Matt Hardy. Now I don't know if he was going to be originally be the replacement, or maybe it could have been Jon Moxley, but who knows? But the point is, it was still going to be that those people against the Inner Circle. But because things changed because of the pandemic, they had to wait it out. Now I don't know how a big crowd's going to be at May 5th, because I'm assuming we're taking this show. It's going to be a live show. It should be a live show because it's blood and guts, for crying out loud. It's basically their version of War Games, and I'm saying to myself, how are they going to do that if you need a big space? I mean, I know they can do that. I know they can do that. But do they want to do it at Dave's place, or should they do it at the football field? The football field, I think, is more suiting to have two rings with a cage or over it, surrounding the rings, I should say. It's basically a War Games match. But with rooftop though, unlike NXT's War Games. But yeah, so when Jericho said that, I'm like, there it is. Blood and guts. Can't wait. So yeah, and that was it for the promo. And then, he says, Jericho says it by saying, the worst is yet to come, and God help the Pinnacle for it. And that was it. Basically, Jericho did all the talking, and Jericho did great in promos, by the way. So that was great. It was great. It was a great promo there. Minus the comedy stuff that he did there too, though. So it's whatever. But at least we got confirmation that we will get Blood and Guts, the very first ever Blood and Guts that's been delayed for a year. So, Dashin Gonzalez interviews Christian Cage pertains to his performance against Frankie Kazarian, and Christian Cage said that the entire year of him scratching and grinding to finally get back into the ring, taking him back what was taken from him 7 years ago, and then puts over Frankie Kazarian and push him to the limit and all that, and then away, and all of a sudden Taz shows up and interrupts and say that he wants Christian Cage to join alongside with him of Team Taz. And Christian Cage was going to give him an answer, but he's like, no, just sleep on it, man. Just think about it. I'll give you a week to think about it, and then on that, blah, blah, blah. And we'll get to that on the next portion of that review for Dynamite. But that was basically what it was. So, and I thought the extension was alright there too. I mean the exchange I meant to say was alright. Extension. Anyways. Alright, here we go. This next match was to promote Godzilla versus King Kong. And when it comes to Godzilla, it was Jurassic Express, being accompanied by Marco, who started his growth. Retains to Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus retains to King Kong. It's Bear Country, Bear Bronson, and Bear Boulder. And this match happens, and this match was sloppy. It was not good at all, folks. And it sucked too, because this was supposed to be the match that was supposed to promote King Kong versus Godzilla, and this match ends up being a train wreck. Basically, a basic train wreck of this match it was, and it's a shame because two teams are pretty good, of Jurassic Express and Bear Country, and we got to this match and it was not good at all. At the end of the day, it was Jurassic Express winning because that's basically also a spoiler too, by the way, that Godzilla beat King Kong in the movie. So. QT Marshall and his crew, which is Anthony Ngogo, Aaron Solo, and Nick Comoroto. They're at the Nightmare Factory, where QT Marshall cuts a promo saying that he was saying that all he's ever done is work for Cody, and for nothing in return. Saying that while Cody was playing second fiddle to Ted DiBiase Jr. from WWE, obviously he didn't reference WWE, but we all know what you meant by that. And also, since Cody wearing face paint again, WWE, since him being Stardust, while he was busting his ass on the indies and training the next generation, which it was true as well. QT Marshall, introduces his crew, versus Anthony Ngogo. Anthony Ngogo says that he is a star already, and he knocks people out for pleasure. And all you silly, and I think this is still Anthony Ngogo saying this, yeah. And all you silly Yanks are going to learn soon enough that, the hard way. They basically learn the hard way. And then pertains to, Cody, this is my factory now. Well, he said this is my fucking factory, which I'm pretty sure was I can't remember if it was bleaked out or whatever, something like that. And all of a sudden, Nick Comoroto throws paint to the Nightmare Factory logo, which he barely hit it. It's whatever. I thought it was decent, the promo here. But they didn't give us the name of the factions though. And it did came later on, but not in this show though. But it did came later on, which is still what the faction is going to be, which I'll get to when we get to that portion of it. But other than that, yeah, there was no name of the faction of these thing that QT Marshall is going to be leading. But either way, I'm still intrigued to see where they go with all this, with QT Marshall's faction against the Nightmare Family faction. And by the way, QT Marshall's faction, they need a lot more factions, members, I might have to say it, in their faction, because the Nightmare Family has got a bunch of them. Just saying. Hell, they even got the Gun Club. So then we get Sting coming out to be interviewed by Tony Schiavone, but gets interrupted by Jake Roberts. That's been the running joke here, where Sting tries to do an interview and he gets interrupted every freaking time. So Jake Roberts interrupts him before he gets to say anything. Robert says that Sting, where is his little friend, which is Darby Allin, saying that that's insanely that it's insanity is when you you do something over and over again, expect different results. And also, Lance Archer walks in, snatches the mic away from Jake Roberts, and says he is sick and tired of AW agenda against him. He said that he should work main events, um and when he does work main events, all of a sudden he goes away for far too long. And he said he's tired of it, and the world will pay attention to him. Lance Archer said that Sting will pay attention to Lance Archer, and Lance Archer says, this is his time, not Sting's time. And all of a sudden Sting basically had enough of the not being able to talk, so he snatches the microphone away from Lance Archer and says to to both Jake Roberts and Lance Archer, basically Sting says that he doesn't understand why Archer disappears for weeks on time, and gets in Robert's face and tells him, teach him what to do, how to do it, and instead of whining about it. And Sting says that Roberts needs to help Archer channel all of his anger into the right direction, and possibly even get to the world title, and tells Lance Archer that he has it in him, and go and to go do it. So yeah, Sting, he agrees with Lance Archer. That's basically what the promo was, and it was a good promo from Sting. And while he's calling this promo, it was over at this point. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky were watching on the balcony. And I see myself, what they're doing with what's whole thing with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, because I know it seems to Scorpio Sky, he still has some unfinished business with Darby Allin. But as far as Ethan Page, I guess he's just he's just running along the ride with Scorpio Sky to get his time as well on Dynamite. But I digress. But there you go. That was basically it, folks. TNT Championship. It was Darby Allin defending it against JD Drake. Sting was there for Darby Allin, while Ryan Nemeth and Cesar Bononi was there for JD Drake. JD Drake was wearing a singlet this time, which it kind of reminds me of Kevin Owens in a way. So the match happens, and match itself, it was decent. Not much to say about it, but hey, JD Drake, he took the opportunity to be on Dynamite, and I thought he did very well on the show. You had Ryan, excuse me, not Brian. Ryan Nemeth getting involved at one point, which led to Sting to go after Cesar Bononi with a baseball bat, take him out with just hit him in the leg, or the knee, wherever it was. And then Ryan Nemeth, all of a sudden, Sting is right behind him, and then Ryan Nemeth gets scared, and Sting is intimidating him, and basically chases him out of the building. And that was it for Ryan Nemeth. Meanwhile, Cesar Bononi was still there, but he was still still in the knee that he couldn't get back up, because I guess apparently one shot with a baseball bat by Sting, you're done. So yeah, Sting buried another guy. Oh man! But in the end, but he ends up getting involved a little bit. But even though he was, he still couldn't get back up, but he still got involved in a way. But in the end, it didn't matter, because Darby Allin still ends up winning. But in the end, even though Darby Allin won the match, JD Drake, he still did pretty good. I thought he did a pretty good job on the show against Darby Allin, getting the opportunity that was given to him, and I thought he delivered. After the match, all of a sudden, Darby Allin celebrate on stage. He gets attacked by the Butcher and the Blade. Then you get the Bunny trying to clear out the commentaries, because they're gonna miss that table to put Darby Allin through, I guess. And all of a sudden, the Dark Order comes out, and as they came out, and also Sting came out too, along with the Dark Order, and Ty Conti came out there too, and the Bunny doesn't realize what's going on, and then finally she realized what's going on, and Ty Conti went after her, and they start fighting and all that, and that was it. And there you go. By the way, this was also a match that was advertised between Ty Conti and the Bunny. And since they're already out there, um, they said that they had the match. Once they come back from commercial break, we get to a real package of the highlights of the drama between the former Elite members, and we'll get to that momentarily. That ends up being the main event. Alex Marvez, he interviews Chris Jericho backstage, returns to the Pinnacle and all that. Also, speaking of the Pinnacle, they came out of nowhere and attacked Chris Jericho, and they started beating him up and everything, and they got him into the ring. And I see myself, wait a minute, so the Bunny and Ty Conti are supposed to have a match right now, and I realized that there was an out there, and they decided to do this whole angle where the Pinnacle attacking Chris Jericho all the way to the ring. Okay, whatever. So this all this going on now, right? And I'm saying to myself, where's the inner circle? So Alex Marvez goes to a locker, to the locker room to find out what's wrong with the inner circle, and apparently they were stuck. They I guess the Pinnacle has shut the door in a way, and the inner circle's trying to get out, and they also start seeing the door breaking. I'm assuming that they has something like an axe or something to try to get through it, or to get out to help out Chris Jericho. So Jericho's getting his ass handed, and he's going to get put to a table by Warlow. All of a sudden, the baddest man on the planet, Iron Mike Tyson, comes out. And I was like, wait a minute, is he going to help Chris Jericho? And he did. Not only help Chris Jericho, but he went after Shawn Spears, and he started giving him body shots after body shots, beating the living piss out of Shawn Spears. And like, oh my God, Shawn Spears, poor Shawn Spears. He can't catch a break. He can't catch a break. He can't catch a break when it comes to him being part of the new faction of the Pinnacle, because the Pinnacle got their asses kicked when the Ursula came back to beat them up and get their locker rooms back. And now another week where the Pinnacle looking like fools. This time with Shawn Spears once again looking like a fool. This guy just can't catch a break, man. So in the end, they came out and Jericho and Mike Tyson shook hands. So yeah, Mike Tyson and Jericho are buddies now. And I guess we're to Chris Jericho's promo where he says saying that he reached out to people and apologized to them. Mike Tyson was one of them, because if I recall, Mike Tyson and Jericho, they had history before, back in 2010 with chance to Tyson knocking out Jericho on Raw, and then what tends to happen a year ago on in the summer, where Jericho and Mike Tyson confronted each other once again, where we thought it was going to lead to a match for All Out, but instead it ends up being Orange Cassidy, and on top of that, Mike Tyson had a fight during that year, so it was impossible for him to even commit to that. So yeah, I guess they decided to just scrap that now. No match for Mike Tyson against Chris Jericho, because Mike Tyson and Jericho now bullet buddies. Whatever. Britt Baker, DMD. She asks for a title shot, but Tony Schiavone tells her that she has got to win matches. Tends to because she's in 4th place in the rankings, and she says that the rankings should be based on ratings and by merchandises and whatever. She said that she will fix the broken system, and she will get wins on Dynamite, Dark, and Elevation. So, and yeah, she's right though. The system is broken because sometimes they do ignore their rankings, which is something that they shouldn't be doing. They should pay attention. They should pay attention to their rankings of who should get a title shot. But yeah. So then we get to the Bunny being accompanied by the Hardy family office versus Ty Conti being accompanied by the Dark Order. I think, if I recall, Negative One was there. Brody Lee Jr. So the match happens. Match itself was pretty decent. In this match, it was a candlestick was mused. Pertains to Hikaru Shida, because Hikaru Shida was at ringside, and the Bunny took hit Shida and took the candlestick to hit Ty Conti with it, and then Shida distracts the Bunny, and then Ty Conti comes back and gets a win over on the Bunny, which is good. I'm glad. Um, because Ty Conti, she's killing right now in singles matches, and she's on the top on the top rankings of it as well. Which I'm gonna get to more of Ty Conti once I get to her. Um, and there you go. That was it for that one. The match, like I said, it was decent. Next AEW Dynamite that I'll be doing a review of it. It'll be Darby Allin versus Matt Hardy in the Falls Count Anywhere match for the TNT Championship. The Young Bucks will defend their tag team titles against Ray Phoenix and Pac of the Death Triangle. Anthony Ogogo will have his first ever AEW in-ring debut match. Jay Cargill will go up against Red Velvet, and Dax Harwood versus Chris Jericho with Iron Mike Tyson as the special guest enforcer. And I'll get to all of that on the next review of which is to giving you Dark and Dynamite results. Excuse me. Speaking of Jay Cargill and Red Velvet, they did a video package of Red Velvet and Jay Cargill. It was like a minute video package of it, or if like it was like half a second, 30 seconds. That's what I meant to say. What I was trying to say was half a minute, but yeah, it was a short video vignette to build up their feud. And I said to myself, wait a minute, there's a lot more to it than just a few seconds of it. I thought that was a letdown, but that's been a pattern when it tends to Jay Cargill's video packages with her promos. It's either like half a minute or a minute. I don't understand. I don't get it. But that was a build up for the match, and we'll get to that when we get to it. When I do that portion of that review. I saw something there. Main event time, a trios match. So yeah, another trios match. So far it's been 3 weeks so far. During that time, a trios match has happened on Dynamite. It involves basically almost like the same guys that are in there: the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Good Brothers, yeah, minus John Moxley because but yeah, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers with Don Callis at ringside. Well, he was on commentary, I should say, versus John Moxley and the Young Bucks, and match was good. But I really didn't pay much attention about it because this whole storyline between the Young Bucks, with the drama with Omega and the Good Brothers, it's not really doing it for me that much because I wonder, I'm just wondering what this is going to really lead to, and then finally we got an answer here. So Matt Jackson, did not want to do a super kick to Kenny Omega, and then when it tends to do the BTE trigger. Matt Jackson cannot find his way to do it, and John Moxley's getting upset on that. If you're not gonna do anything, I'll do something. And he didn't hesitate to do what you gotta do, where it tends to doing turn down ships, and then he go from the rear naked choke, and Moxley had enough of the Young Bucks and all that, and then he go for one more. Also, the Young Bucks super kicks. Well, Matt Jackson first, and then Matt Jackson did it. I see myself, wait a minute, are they supposed to do it at the same time? Isn't that the whole point? Like. And then Eddie Kingston comes out, who's limping, who's still favoring on the ankle injury, and he gets jumped by the Good Brothers. So yes, once again, Eddie Kingston is trying to fight, but he can't. But he's getting his ass kicked once again. But in a way, he's got an excuse because he was limping, so he was still injured. But the Good Brothers hit the Magic Killer onto Eddie Kingston on the stage. The Good Brothers then hit the Magic Killer on John Moxley, and then Drake can make it on top of them. Of him, to get the win. After the match, though, Matt and Nick Jackson, looking down as Good Brothers are celebrating, and then Good Brothers picks up John Moxley, and then Kenny Omega tells them to super kick him, and the Young Bucks then they hesitate to super kick John Moxley, and they did it, and they ended by they was going to do too sweet, but then all of a sudden, the Young Bucks said no, let's hug it out, basically, make all things, to make amends and we're all good now. So yeah, the Bootleg Club is back, full force. I guess in a way, they're not Bullet Club. Even though, um, Tony Schiavone was saying, I wonder if it just means that Bullet Club is back. Not really, based on what happened. Previously, the previous episodes of Dynamite. They're not Bullet Club, so they're the Elite. This is a new edition of the Elite. With the Good Brothers being part of it, because they're not good. They're not Bullet Club anymore. Even Tama Tonga doesn't see them as Bullet Club anymore, because Tama Tonga kicked out Kenny Omega and Young Bucks during that time back in 2018, and the Good Brothers were they left they left for WWE, I meant to say. So that means they were done. They were on no longer part of Bullet Club as well. Same thing with AJ Styles. Especially with him getting kicked out of it. Because he was leaving. Well, it's that's for another story for another time. But there you go, folks. That was it for your AEW Dynamite results from April 7th, 2021. 5 matches worth of Tomorrow Wrestling, and my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go with a 8 out of 10. I wasn't referring to the show that much, but there was some things I did enjoy about the show. As a matter of fact, no, I can't give it an 8 out of 10. After after what because to be honest with you, after me not filming the show at all, I gotta go with a 7 out of 10. I mean, I still enjoy the show though, but 7 out of 10 is a fair one for so not much to say about it. But with that being said, folks, thank you all for watching. No plugs, no sign arrows, no any of that whatsoever, other than for It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets, because I needed to do plenty a lot of catching up to do with all Elite Wrestling reviews. So take care.